Hello everybody, welcome on back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. I'm Sean, still a little bit under the weather, so forgive the fits of coughing, I'm sure. Today, I have not picked the games just yet because we were recording our video for tomorrow, so I'm running a little bit behind today. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up Wheel of Names, and we're going to spin the wheel right now, and we'll grab the games. I'll have to pick up the thumbnails and add the tags as we go, but I can at least make sure that we grab the games. I have them all listed in order of how they get played. And I was like, well, we'll just roll it every single time. We'll just roll it. I guess we could do that. But if it spins the Mariners, then we're out of luck. So we'll just go to Wheel of Names. Hopefully it doesn't ruin everything too much. It can be a little bit of a pain when it's trying to run things all at the same time. I think it's going to probably overload the encoder. But let's get our first game of the day. It's going to be the Phillies and the Brewers, which is maybe a tad unfortunate just because we had the Brewers yesterday, but it's all good. Now I got to find where that was. Phillies at Brewers. And then we'll go there. And then we have the Red Sox at the Braves, which is before that game. So we will do that. And then we will remove and we'll spin. And then we'll go. Again, I apologize if it's overloading. I don't think it shouldn't be too bad. Mets and the Angels is next, which is... Oof. Low? Gotta be low. Okay, gotta be third then. And then the last game that we will be watching today, oops, is all right, Guardians and Marlins. Where did I put them? Let's see. I think they will be the second game up. Ah, crap. Now I don't remember where they were. Okay, that's fine. So we'll close that out, and we will jump into what I'm assuming is going to be the first game of the day, which will be the Red Sox and the Braves. So we need the Braves, Red Sox, Braves, and then we need Marlins. Okay, Marlins right there. Brewers, and then the Angels last. Perfect. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll just jump into Red Sox Braves. I'll flip the camera, don't worry, and then I'm gonna, when it gets into the game, oh god, when it gets into the game, it'll flip to a different screen while I grab a thumbnail real quick, and you might hear some typing as I try to knock out the tags. But welcome on into baseball, everybody. Happy Wednesday for you fine folks. Made it through the hump day. Hopefully you had a good day. Should still be able to hear me here, so that should be not a problem. I mean, I guess I can... Oh, no, because I had... Yeah, never mind. It's all good. And we are going to welcome you on into Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. For game number 1 today, the Red Sox taking on the Atlanta Braves. The Red Sox are 20-27. The Braves are 25-22. Flip this back, and we'll get rolling here. Do that. Save as a JPEG. Christian Liu is going to be the starting or the leadoff hitter for the Boston Red Sox. The center fielder. Justin Smoke at first. Jason Hayward in right. Carlos Lee in left. Wes Helms at third. Jorge Cantu is the designated hitter. Blake DeWitt is at second. Benji Molina the catcher. And Jason Bartlett is your shortstop. May 28.1. There we go. Then we close that. And we go here. Then we go over there. And then we click the edit button. And then we slide this down. And then we hit change. And then we go into the file. And we do that. And we go bam, bam, bam. And now we're all set. We're set and ready to roll. Before they even got through their thing. Good for me. Mike Pelfrey is 7-1 with a .96 ERA. 9 games of 28 innings. I missed it. How are you this far? Oh, because you paused for some reason. Play. What happened? Where's my full screen? Oh my god. 27, 10, and 17, I believe, are the numbers. All right, I'm gonna reload this real quick. Because the video player, for some reason... Are we not live? Yeah, we're live. What are we doing? Where's my full screen thing? Huh. Weird. I swear, this thing on the back end just keeps breaking. Usually I can look at it in full screen as that is an out to the shortstop. But it doesn't have the full screen option now. Oh, it's like using a different player form. Great. Oh my god. This is so annoying. YouTube, stop making weird, unnecessary changes on the back end for no reason. Hello, Leaf, how are you? Welcome on in. So it's 0-1 following the foul ball up the third base line. And quickly 0-2. As the righty gets ready to fire it in, and that is strike 3. So a foul ball, a swinging strike, and a called strike low in the zone. Gets him right about at the knees. And that'll be out number 2 for Boston here in the top half of the first. Thank you. I am live on my own channel. I appreciate you reminding me, YouTube. Jason Hayward, he's next up. The lefty will take a look at Pelfrey, the righty. 2 gone here. That's in for a strike. Hayward, I think that's a good take. It's not maybe the best location for Pelfrey. In fact, I know it's not the best location for Pelfrey, but he's able to get it by him. Pitcher winds and fires. That's low for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. It's going to be hit, driven foul up the third base line. Somebody made a post on Instagram today in their Instagram story or whatever that was like, it's the last month without baseball for a while. Technically true. Though spring training is not the most exciting. It's kind of at least something. Opening day just over 2 months away. Closer to 3 months. I forget how early we are in January. That is going to be hit out towards left field. Got a little under it, and that'll be out number 3. The left fielder stands and waits patiently for the ball to drop into his glove. Not sure why we're getting a replay on that. That should be the end of the inning. We don't typically get end of the inning replays, but they are held hitless. And we will head to, oh my goodness, Sean. The bottom half of the first. It's Elvis Andrews at the shortstop position. Gabby Sanchez at first. Josh Hamilton is in left. Andrew Jones in center. Jeff Francoeur in right. Howie Kendrick at second. Ross Glode is the designated hitter. Mark Tian is at third base. AJ Przinsky is the catcher. Oops. I can't spell Boston. Huh, I'm panicked. I'm a panicked person. Brian Mastis, 3-3 with a 5.63 ERA, 9 games to 24 innings pitched, 32-14 and 22. Not bad. Not a bad split there. Hits, walks, and then those strikeouts. So it's a lefty pitcher going for the Boston Red Sox. I don't actually point that out very often. Probably should point it out a little bit more often. But it is 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out for the righty from Atlanta. Christian Liu. Sometimes when we've seen Boston, it feels like it's a little bit of an adventure with Christian Liu out there in center field. He's made some nice plays, but especially at home, like he's just not familiar with it, which I guess would make sense because it is a fantasy drafted roster. But it has been at times adventurous, and it's weird because it feels like the adventurous stuff is kind of all clumped together. Then it's perfectly fine. Then it's adventurous in a little chunk of 3 or 4 outs. It's very odd. And they'll get right back on it. He's injured. Oh, no, we have an injury to number 14. Oh. We don't get this a ton. We have more injuries and more ejections than we have pickoff moves. They'll bring in Johnny Peralta to the shortstop position. Josh Hamilton leads the NL in home runs with 10, apparently. That is in for or inside pitch for a ball. I have to learn how to spell Philadelphia. It's an A. It's a Philadelphia. Doesn't help because I didn't. Aha. Now we're going to throw the tags in real quick. Real quick. It's a bit of a messy start. I do apologize. 3-0. It's a messy start for me, but not a great start for this pitcher. He's going to give up a foul ball in the 3-0 count. Got to be a swing, like just let it go situation. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be a little too long. What's missing? I don't know what was... Why? Oh, I'm driving myself nuts here. That'll be rolled up the middle. They're going to send that runner first to third. They will not. It's not deep enough. So they will run station to station here. It's as good as a walk. Just advances the runner to second and gets on base at first. Atlanta looking to strike first. 1 out, a runner on second. And he'll take a strike on the inside. Oh, and 1. Lefty's ready. That is way low. Good take there to make it 1-1. That is going to be hit well out to the left center field. That is going to get down. It's going to score 1. Should score 2 easily as they'll send that second runner around third. It'll be a stand-up double and a 2 RBI double for the Atlanta Braves with 1 gone. Atlanta? Oh, it would be Philadelphia. Philadelphia and Florida would be teams that they're kind of contending with here as we are in the back half of the season, this shortened season. 3-inning, 82-game season. I don't know exactly what the standings are for them at the moment, but we are getting close here to the end of the month of May. We'll definitely take a look at it at the end of the series. Not that it really matters, but sometimes it's fun to just kind of wrap everything up and put everyone at the same point and move forward. We only have, well, what? Let's see. Hold on. I can pull up this image. That's going to overload the encoder. It's almost like someone needs to buy a new computer. It's me. So 47 games for each team. So you're looking at what, 35 left? This is game 48. Yeah, 34 games left for each team after this. We are a little over a month left in the season. There's not a ton of off days. That's a foul ball. That is inside. Shuffles his feet. So it's a full count here. Atlanta already leads by 2. Boston needs needs an out. They're not going to get it here. Do they send the runner around third? They will. The right fielder's up with it. He throws it. It is kind of a weak sauce throw. He's safe in at home. Safe at home is what I was trying to say about 3 times there. It wasn't a super well struck ball. I mean, it's good decisive base running by both the coach and the runner for the Atlanta team. But the throw was really bad in. Like, shockingly bad. But I guess the good news for Boston is even though they gave up the 1 run, they still just got the single. So the double play is in order, and they can try at least to mitigate the damage from Atlanta here. That is foul up the third baseline. Here comes the lefty's offering. It's fouled away. 0-2. Lefty ready. Fires that just outside. Trying to make it at least a competitive pitch to get him to go, but did not work in his favor. 1-2. He's really trying to get that ground ball for the double play. That pitch misses, so it'll be 2-2. That's outside. Now he's just way too cute. He's never gone up in the zone. This was something that we saw with one of the pitchers yesterday. It was the Mariners pitcher. It just kept staying low in the zone. Never tried to change that eye level. Like, tried to get a fastball in high and tight or whatever. And he's going to do it again. Start the double play. Over to second, back to first in time. So they'll work out of it. But they still give up 4 hits, 3 runs. Lee, Helms, and Cantu coming up for Boston. Looking to strike back in the top of the second. Carlos Lee steps in. I will step away for just a moment. Seems like that kind of high inside corner has been getting some generous calls. That is 0-1. Could also just be the angle that we're looking at. That can be a little tricky at times. That one misses inside. 1-1. That is foul up the first base line. 1-2. Righty shakes off the pitcher or the catcher. Righty's winds and fires. It's up the third baseline. It's going to stay fair. It's going to just kind of leak a little bit into left field. Not deep enough or the runner not fast enough. A little bit of a combination there. Just hold it to a single. This is the kind of inning where you really want to make sure that it's a quick 1, 2, 3. Really limit how many opportunities Boston gets to come back in this one. Righty fires that. We just missed low for a ball. 1-0. And that'll get a strike at the knees. 1-1. Did not even think about the Braves pitcher that makes everything take way longer. Just got to try and avoid him. But I guess at least if he's in the playoffs, I don't think there's any game. I don't think there are very many or any days that have 4 games on them. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. It is a strike. Okay. That high inside corner has been a little bit generous. The lower you get in that zone, they're not necessarily getting those strike calls. That one, they give him the strike to make it 2-2. See if he wants to go outside here. The catcher does, and the pitcher does not. Pitcher with a bad throw. It kind of sailed high and inside on him. Got the swing and the miss, but oof, boy, that wasn't even inside. That was pretty, well, the pitch tracking, okay, shocker. This game's not great. It's a late stage PS2 there. Jorge Cantu steps in. Righty fires that outside for a ball. One and oh. Still looking for that double play. He just can't seem to get a... Can't seem to keep the pitches low. They keep sailing on him a little bit. That's the second one we've seen that just doesn't look like that is the location that they wanted. Is that high inside pitch kind of running away from him a little bit. The righty sets and fires. That one sails on him yet again for a ball. The 3-0 is outside. Not even really much of a challenge pitch there. That'll bring the tying run for Boston to the plate. Blake DeWitt doesn't have any home runs, but this would be a good time for him to start a .214 average with just 5 RBI. I mean, at least if he can try and stay out of the double play, maybe get a single to score a run. But let's see what he can do here against this right-handed Braves pitcher. Winds and fires. It's hit. First pitch swinging. That's going to be driven foul. That's inside for a ball. That misses low for a ball. Okay, Braves pitcher, buddy. We got to do something here. We can't just be throwing balls all day. All right? Some of us may or may not have time for you to be walking every Boston batter, okay? Let's find the strike zone, huh? Okay, that'll work. Can they turn 2? There's the feed to second, around to first. He's not in time. It's good hustle. It's great hustle up the first base line. It was a slow roller to the shortstop position. And this game is absolutely killer when it does this little shovel, underhand sort of thing. And then again, this game is so clunky and not smooth in all these key areas. And the transfer, the turn for the second, the player covering second, is usually like catch, set, uh-oh, hold on, we're going to get ready to throw. Wait, they're sliding in. Okay, adjust, now throw. And all of that adds up to not getting a double play. Good job there by the catcher. That was a funky, dangerous throw down the first base line. We don't usually see that. We don't see a ton of times where the catcher throws down to first to like try to get the runner out diving back. I think you can kind of see why. It's that funky kind of sidearm throw, and it just looks like it's going to sail on out to right field. That's not what you want. You're 1 out away from getting out of this jam and carrying a 3-0 lead at least into the top of the third. That's going to get a strike at the knees. That is hit foul up the first baseline. Why'd you take away the full screen button? Oh, cancel. Don't do that. Sean, you cannot just be clicking things, buddy, while you're watching this stuff. Pitcher winds and fires. It's going to be rolled at the third baseline foul. One and two. Two gone here with two runners on, so you have your tying run at the plate. The righty winds and fires, gets them to swing and miss. So Atlanta gives up some hits, gets into a little bit of trouble, but able to escape. I guess they gave up one hit. It'll be Glode, Tien, and Przinski coming up for the Atlanta Braves. Looking for just a little more insurance. That is inside for a ball. That gets a strike at the top of the zone. Gets it right at the letters. 1-1. And that is hit out to left field. Shortstop did that weird thing where they just didn't even try to get the ball. I don't know why that happens, but every once in a while, I don't know that he's going to get to it. It's lined out to left. So maybe it's just one of those things where it goes, it was a 0% chance. But it does look a little funny when it just zips right by him and you go, hey, you didn't even try? Sir, please? But it'll be one runner on, and they'll get a strike on the low inside corner. Boston could really use a 3-up, 3-down inning, or at least just a clean mark on the board. The goose egg, as they might call it. Keep themselves at least in it a little bit. Although they did just miss a pretty golden opportunity in the previous inning. The lefty is ready against the lefty. He'll fire, and that'll get smacked foul. 1-2. In the bottom of the second here, nobody out and a runner on first. Lefty swings and fouls that one off as well. So we'll do it again. And that's rolled foul up the third baseline. These Atlanta Braves are proving to be very difficult outs, even when you would think that the Boston Red Sox would have a little bit of an advantage with this lefty-lefty matchup. Still doing a good job to put a tough at-bat up. And a good eye as that one just misses outside. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. Here comes the payoff pitch. It'll be swung on foul yet again. Another payoff pitch, and it'll be a walk. Not what you're looking for if you're Boston. Has now two runners on. One via a hit, one via a walk. Going to bring up A.J. Przinski. Does have a couple of home runs, which might be a little surprising with that 161 average. Of course, if he's typically at the bottom of the order, he's not necessarily getting an at-bat every single game, especially at home. We had the perfect example of it kind of recently. Nice snag by the third baseman at that hot corner. That's 2 gone. It was a home team. I forget exactly who it was. They sent 7 batters to the plate. It was 1 solo home run that won the game 1-0. That'll be looped into right field. There's not going to send the runner around. I was going to say there's no way they're going to send that runner around. It's not deep enough, but we did see that right fielder for Boston try to throw the ball in earlier, and it just seemed like it was not the strongest of throws. He's going to miss high and inside. He just need 1 more out, right? It's 2 gone. That's not right. No, it's just 1 out. Okay. I was going to say that. Never sounded wrong in my head, but that's in for a strike. Just gets that inside edge. Here comes the 1-1. That's going to be at the knees for strike 2. Left-hander sets and fires. That is going to be looped into right field. It's going to get all the way to the wall. It's going to score at least 2, maybe a third, depending on the speed. They are going to send him around. The cutoff man hurls it in, but he is just late. So it is a 3-run double for Atlanta. And Boston will head to the bullpen. They'll be Guillermo Mota. 16 games with a 3-1 record. 2 saves, a 3.31 ERA. 16.1 innings pitched with 5 walks and 15 strikeouts. And he'll be tasked with just trying to make this not look worse than it is. Or getting worse than it is. 6-0 Atlanta here in the bottom of the second. That is in for a strike right at the letters. A good job to at least get ahead of this hitter. 0-1. Oops. That is low for a ball. The righty is ready. Lines and fires that one low. Not what you're looking for. Two and one. That is low. 3-1. They got a base open. You can at least try to reestablish the double play opportunity. And that is outside for ball 4. Hamilton on first now. 2 on, 1 gone. So we came in and got, 1 strike and then just threw 4 straight balls? Not what you're looking for. Andrew Jones is 1 for 1 today. He's knocked in a couple of runs via a double. The righty winds and fires. That is going to be hit into left center. That's going to get all the way to the wall. It's going to score at least 1, probably 2. So he would be 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles and 4 RBI on the day. It is 8-0 Braves here in game number 1. Jeff Francoeur steps in. Now an 8-0 game. That is going to get into right field. Do they send him all the way around? They will. The right fielder with another chance. He's going to throw this in. It's again, it's just kind of, it feels like a soft throw in from right field. We're not trying to insult anybody, but they are taking extra bases. Not only did they get the extra run to make it 9-0, but the throw was kind of slow enough into where the runner got all the way to second. Still just one gone here. Sometimes we get games that are this length and it's like, oh, we're in like the 5th inning and no one can do anything. Sometimes we're at this length and we're in the bottom of the 2nd because one team's almost put up double digits on the scoreboard. That is foul up the third base line. That is a strike on the outside. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. That's a big out, number 2. Or I guess maybe finally. Big gap between out number 1 and number 2. I believe they have now batted around. I believe Glode started this thing off. That is going to be launched into right field. Right fielder has a pretty good read on it. Makes the catch over the shoulder, and that will do it. Atlanta scores 6 in the bottom of the 2nd. They now have 9 runs on 9 hits. It'll be Peralta, Lou, and Smoke coming up for the Red Sox in the top half of the 3rd. And Johnny Peralta has zeros everywhere you look. That will be rolled over. Shortstop picks it up, fires over to first in time on a hop. 1 gone. Christian Liu is 0 for 1, 262 average, couple of home runs, 9 RBI on the season. That is low for a ball. And that is high for a ball. So did a good job to get that first out nice and quickly, but really needs to just attack these hitters. There is no reason for you to be afraid of giving up a solo home run and a 9-0 lead. Here comes the 2-0. Lou gives him a grounder. That's a nice easy out for out number 2. This game got out of hand quickly. It was pretty okay. They got 3 runs. The Braves got 3 runs, obviously, in the first inning. And Boston at least threatened, but they couldn't come up with anything. And then Atlanta does a good job to use that bottom of the 2nd to make this into a bit of a laugher. With just 1 out to go. Go Mariners and Justin Smoke here. As the righty winds and fires. That is hit well, but foul. Or slicing foul. And that is lifted into left field. Got under it just a touch. The left fielder takes a few steps back, and he will be out number 3. He will record out number 3, I should say. And that will do it. 9-0 Braves over the Red Sox. Score maybe doesn't indicate as interesting as this game was through the first half. But like I just mentioned, the Braves do turn this one into a blowout. Good for them. They took advantage of the runners that they had in scoring position or on the bases. They had some good base running there. Being aggressive in good spots, especially against whoever the right fielder was for the Boston Red Sox. Really had trouble getting that ball in quickly and efficiently. Mike Pelfrey is your player of the game. He has he goes 3 innings with just 1 hit and strikes out 3. He improves to 8-1. Brian Mattis excuse me, falls to 3-4. No home runs. They scored everything inside the fences. Andrew Jones, 2 for 2, 2 doubles. He scored twice and knocked in 4. I'm a little surprised he was not the player of the game. Having that good of an afternoon. All right, let's go down to our next game, which is Guardians Marlins. I will have to grab that thumbnail again. We just saw Cleveland yesterday. As we take a look at the wild card standings, the Phillies and the Marlins all locked up at 28-19. And then you have the Braves 2.5 games back at 26-22. So that NL East is getting a little bit crowded. The NL Central is a little crowded. The Diamondbacks missed a nice opportunity to get tied up with the Rockies in the National League West. In the American League, the Angels are back by a game to the Royals. Blue Jays in the hunt as well, though I think they've been struggling recently because they've been holding down that spot pretty effectively. But now they're going to be holding on for dear life here. All right, so let's do this. Welcome on into Florida. Cleveland visiting. Both teams have 28 wins. That's fun. Your starting lineup for Cleveland is Julio Bourbon. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Victor Martinez is the catcher. Bourbon, excuse me, is in center field. Victor Martinez is behind the dish. Carlos Gonzalez in left. Jason Giambi at first. Kenneth Bolton in right field. Eric Abar at shortstop. Brent Morrill at third. Raji Davis is the designated hitter. And Meiser Istruis. Oh my goodness. Please don't do that. Oh, he is your second baseman. God forbid I have to change a thumbnail. It takes 2 seconds. I can't do it. Right-hander Justin Masterson is 4-5 with a 2.28 ERA, 9 games with 27.2 innings pitched. I did not catch the rest of those stats. 26-6 and 18. It's a really good strikeouts to walks ratio. And it's good with the hits as well. This is the lowest ranked team that's in first place that you've probably ever seen, Cleveland. I think we might have seen both these teams yesterday, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, we watched Florida and New York. That's what it was. There's a strike. The low part of the zone right at the knees. 1-1. That is rolled over to the shortstop, who picks it on a hop. Fires over to first in time, and that will be out number 1. Victor Martinez, 243 average with 2 home runs, 10 RBI. No stolen bases. So you'd be looking at Florida and Atlanta both chasing down Philly. As the righty winds and fires, puts a big swing into that. Does the right fielder have a beat on it, or is it going to keep going? It's out of here. It is a solo home run. That ball, I thought, was going to get into the glove of the right fielder, but it just kept going. It was hit 388 majestic feet. Carlos Gonzalez has a 281 average with no home runs, 7 RBI. Here comes the pitch. It stays upstairs for a ball. Cleveland jumps out to a 1-0 lead with just 1 gone here in the top of the first. The ball makes it a 1-0 count as the righty fires. Must have gotten that high inside corner. Evens things up at 1-1. That is low for a ball. Here comes the 2-1. That is hit right to the second baseman. Infield's had a couple nice plays already, and this one for Florida. Two gone. Always tell the grasshopper. Jason Giambi, who we have not seen a lot of at all in this simulation. I'll take a pitch upstairs for a ball. 1-0. Is outside to make it 2-0. The righty is ready, and that'll be hit right back to him. Flips it over to first. That was something that we didn't see yesterday. We had that Diamondbacks Rockies games where game to lead things off yesterday, where the ball just kept getting hit right back up the middle time after time after time. And the pitcher never really got the animation. There were a couple of well-hit balls. It wasn't going to get the animation. But finally the pitcher gets his time to shine and makes the play. Mohamed Haney is going to lead things off. He's the center fielder. Paul Konerko is at first. Alex Rodriguez at third. Pat Burrell in left. Todd Helton is the designated hitter. Chris Iannetta is the catcher. Orlando Cabrera at shortstop. Garrett Jones in right. Danny Espinoza is your second baseman. So it's going to be a left-handed pitcher for the team that they are playing, Cleveland, because typically Todd Helton is in that 2 spot, but now today he is in the 5 spot, which means Jorge De La Rosa, the lefty, is 5-3 with a 5.01 ERA. 9 games, 23.1 innings pitched, 26, 11, and 27. That is an incredible ratio. 37 walks and hits to 27 strikeouts. Really good stuff. You like where Cleveland is, just because of some of those stats. You really like where Cleveland is. They got a leadoff, or not a leadoff, they got a first inning home run. And they have a pitcher who, for every hit they're giving up, is getting a strikeout. See what the lefty can do here. Throws that one just low for a ball, 1-0. The lefty gets that one inside for a strike. That's low for a ball. Here comes the 2-1. Lefty winds and fires. Ooh, a big looping curveball is in for a strike. Absolutely had to have fooled that hitter. Just kind of where that was going to go. It looked like it was going to stay upstairs a little bit, but then it dropped and somehow managed, instead of just dropping straight down, it curved in towards him just enough. And that will be a swing and a miss for the out, and it'll be a strikeout. Paul Konerko stepping up. 324 average, 6 home runs, 11 RBI. No stolen bases on the season. Alex Rodriguez would be behind him as he gets ready to fire. Ooh, the curveball that he drives into the ground just rolls over at the first baseman, scoops it up and steps on first, and that is a really big second out because it's a really quick second out, especially with the fact that that curveball that we've already seen twice now has been inconsistently located. First one's kind of high and drops inside a little bit. That one's low out of the zone. There's going to be a pitch somewhere that's literally splits the difference between those and could be dangerous. Instead, he gets him to roll over it. It'll be up to Alex Rodriguez here to keep things going. The lefty winds and fires. That's in for a strike. Changes up the speed a little bit. Gives him a first pitch fastball. That is in for a strike at the knees. So 0-2 now with 2 gone. It feels like it's been Alex Rodriguez's problem the entire season. He has just not had a lot of opportunities with runners on base that we have seen. It is so routinely. I think yesterday we had him. There was a double play that erased him. The first batter got on via the walk. And then the second batter, which might have been Todd Helton, grounded into a double play. Alex Rodriguez just barely gets a hold of it. I lifted my voice there a little bit because it looked like that was going to sail over the first baseman's glove. Instead, it's a nice reach play. Cleveland leads 1-0. Bolton, Eric Aber, I think is a little more how it's pronounced. More of an I rather than an Do we have a sneeze? Am I getting sicker or am I getting healthier? I cannot tell. There's the wind and the pitch in for a strike. I guess all I need to do is just survive one more day of work and then I can take care of it this weekend. But I'd really rather not lose my whole weekend to being not feeling great. That is hit. Shortstop gets the ball over to first in time for the out. It's just a nice job reaching out, meeting the ball where it was going to be. I bar. Yeah, it is a little more of the I, unless I'm mishearing the PA announcer. 1 gone quickly here for Cleveland. That was how they had the last inning as well, and then they hit a home run. But this one is not going to have enough power, and it will drop into the left fielder's glove harmlessly for an out. Patton Burrell out there. Shakes his head. And hits the swing and the miss. So whatever the pitcher wanted that the catcher wasn't necessarily calling for, the pitcher wins this round. 2 gone and an 0-1 count here. Cleveland leads 1-0 in the top of the second. Here comes the pitch. It is low and outside for a ball. The righty winds and fires. Swung on and missed. Just on the inside edge, but strike 2 either way because he went all the way around. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Way outside. Good eye by the Cleveland batter to make sure that he didn't chase a really bad looking slider. Makes it 2-2. As the righty winds and fires. Swung on and missed, so puts up a goose egg on the board and helps Florida stay down just 1. It's been 1 hit. Burrell, Helton, and Iannetta coming up for the Marlins. Burrell has 3 home runs, 11 RBI with a .247 average. The lefty readies, winds, and fires. That one well low. Ball 1. Here comes the wind and the pitch. That is in for a strike. Just gets that inside edge. It's been a little generous today. Makes the count 1-1. That's fouled away. There's the 1-2. It's inside for a ball. Let's make it 2-2. Here comes the pitch from the lefty. Low. Full count. Payoff pitch is rolled over foul up the first base, or third base line, excuse me. All that work for him to be called out on strikes in that spot that's been, like I said a little earlier, it's been generous today. The high inside corner to the right-handed hitters have been a little loose, and it seems to have expanded a little bit more up and down. We saw a couple of pitches that looked like they were about the same. They would have crossed the plate at the same horizontal area, but one of them was a strike, one of them was a ball. If that makes sense? That doesn't make sense. It's vertical? What am I trying to say? Who knows? He got called out on strikes. That's what's important. And it'll be now up to Todd Helton to keep this thing going. Just one gone, and he does have a 2-0 count, so good for him. Lefty-lefty matchup. As that one stays way outside. It's got to be a hands-off the controller situation. You cannot be swinging at anything. Got to let it go. 3-0 with one out. Here comes the wind and the pitch. It's a pretty hittable location. Pretty hittable location there for Todd Helton. And that's fouled back. That one might have been kind of more of a leave it alone situation. Worst case scenario, it's 3-2. Best case scenario, it's ball 4. Here comes a payoff pitch. That is fouled off up the third base side. I was trying to get a look at it on the other screen, but they ended up timed up pretty equally. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for ball 4, well outside. And a good job there because he fouled off a few pitches in a row, and sometimes it feels like the game gets into that auto swing mode a little bit. That pitch was way off the plate. Should have been and was most likely a very easy take. Chris Iannetta stepping up. What are his stats looking like? No home runs. So is there an F? Oh, I can just hit F. Okay. Hey, good to know, Sean. 1-0 to Iannetta. That is low for a ball. Two and 0 with an out here. One on. That's in for a strike. Lefty winds and fires. It's going to get that inside corner that we've been talking so much about today. It's a nice location. That was absolutely a strike. 2-2. That is low for a ball. Another full count. Iannetta is going to put a charge into that one out to the right, but not deep enough and can't get it away from the defender. One on with 2 outs now. Cleveland clinging on to this solo home run lead. Orlando Cabrera, no home runs. 6 RBI and a stolen base. .259 average. That is low and inside for a ball, 1-0. That one's upstairs for a ball, 2-0. Lefty readies the 2-0 pitch. It is in for a strike on that inside edge. See what he wants to offer up here. That is going to be hit out to left, but the left fielder is going to track it. Oh, is it going to just keep going? Oh my gosh, it's off the scoreboard. What in the world was that? Holy moly. What is the wind doing in this stadium today? That ball just kept carrying. He jumped weirdly into the Topps Attacks logo and then just kind of fell down. That was, what a bizarre play. Garrett Jones stepping in now with an opportunity to take the lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. That'd be a big swing. That's well inside. I should look and see where's the wind. It is 11 miles an hour from right field to left field. It explains the Cleveland home run and that funky play in left. So each team has benefited from the wind to the tune of 1 run. Here's the lefty. To lefty, fouls it back. That's foul at the first base line. And that is out towards left, but I think he's going to be able to catch this one cleanly. He does, and it'll send us to the top of the third, 1-1 the score. Each team with just 1 hit, but they've been able to score 1 run, a solo home run, and then Florida took advantage of the walk and 2 outs. That was kind of the nice thing about it, is you're running hard. You're not really worried about where you have to be, or, you know, if he makes the catch, it's the end of the inning. If he misses it like he did, you just keep hustling and score the tying run. That pitch stays upstairs. That is high and inside. Gets the corner for the strike. 1-1. A 1-1 count in a 1-1 game. That is foul away. Here comes a 1-2. Ooh, got under it. That is sky high to the third base side. Steps over in foul territory, makes the routine catch, and that will be out number 1. Meiser Istruis stepping up. That pitch is outside for a ball. It's going to be interesting here. We only have 2 hits total through the first 2 innings of the game. And both runs scored a little bit via the wind. Righty winds and fires the 2-0 way inside, 3-0. Batter gets out of the way. It's got to be hands-off controller. You got to just let this one go. And he will, to the tune of a walk. Nice at-bat. Nice patient at-bat there. Go ahead run now on first with just one out. We bring up Julio Brown, who's Bourbon, who is 0 for 1. That is a strike high. Looked like it was a pretty hittable pitch, but we're commentators. Righty winds. That is in for a strike. Here comes the 0-2. Ooh, thought about it. Appeals over to third. That's not only a strike called by on the appeal, but it is a strike out. Holy moly. Wow. For the most part in this season, it's only been like the last week maybe where we've seen the appeals actually get called strikes. That is a hit out to the second baseman who fires over to first in time for the out. And that will retire the side. Cleveland works a walk but can't do anything with it. Espinosa, Haney, and Canerco coming up. If you can get A-Rod on, maybe that batting average comes into play. Looking for a walk-off here in regulation. Danny Espinosa is batting .286 on the season. We'll take a strike. Don't think that's exactly where the pitcher wanted it, but he'll take it, just getting that pitch by the batter. 0-1 from the lefty. That is outside for a ball. That 1-1. Oof, I think he might want that pitch back. Got on top of it and drove it into the ground to make it 1-2. That one stays outside, even things up. Here comes the lefty. Oh, that's hit out well out to center field. It's going to be over his head. It's going to be an automatic double. Oh, wow. What a turn there. That animation is so good 90% of the time, but boy, the 10% that it doesn't go well for the defender sure stands out. So the winning run on second base here with nobody out actually might have bit Florida just a little bit. That pitch is inside for a ball. I don't know, did they try to send him all the way to third? If it doesn't get over, if it just hits off the top, maybe it's a blessing and we just don't know it. Swung on and missed. Wanted to be the hero on that swing and did not connect. Looked like he was way out in front of that one. 1-1. That's fouled away. Here comes the 1-2. That is lifted. Oh, that's not what you want. Not what you want at all. That's a brutal first out. Just got way too under it. Skies it to the first base side. Runner can't even advance. Obviously, there's more than enough opportunity here. Canerco with a big hero swing there. Thought about it. They're going to appeal. He went. My goodness. Wow. So we've seen two appeals, both of them called a strike. Not able to hold it back in an animation. It looks like they were able to hold it back. They don't look much different. Makes it 0-2 instead of 1-1. Canerico swings at that one, bats it away. The 0-2 stays way outside for a ball, 1-2. Oh, that's going to get driven into right field. I don't think it's going to be deep enough. They're going to just work station to station. So some smart base running potentially here for the Florida Marlins, but Cleveland's going to bring in a new pitcher. Juan Gutierrez, 17 games with a 3-2 record, 4 saves, a 6.17 ERA, 11.2 innings pitched with 5 walks and 8 strikeouts. Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 1 on the season. He has a 3.33 average. Opportunity to be the hero right here, right now. That is low and outside for a ball. Oh my goodness, that pitch looked good. I think it tailed away from the batter there at the last moment. Just barely got a piece of it. Does drift it foul. Rodriguez takes that ball inside. Two and one. And Alex Rodriguez will end this game in regulation. 2-1 Florida are your winners today. He drives it to the opposite field, right through that little gap between first and second base, and that will do it. Cleveland got that one run in the first inning, and then they kind of just needed to hold on for the rest of the game, but they gave up the funky run in the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Was so weird. Justin Masterson is your player of the game. 3 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He improves to 5-5, and Jorge De La Rosa falls to 5-4. Martinez's 3rd home run of the season. But Florida gets 2, 1 in the second, 1 in the third to walk it off and win 2-1. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. If you're new here, welcome on in. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to hit that like button, the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. If you want more, subscribe. Ring the bell. You'll be notified. Don't usually stream on Wednesdays, so we're a little out of sorts today. Oh, let's catch up on some scores, by the way. Orioles over the Nationals 5-4. Cubs over the Blue Jays 3-0. Tigers over the Cardinals 2-1. We watched that 9-0 Red Sox pummeling by the Braves. And then we saw the 2-1 Marlins over the Guardians. We are heading down to the next game, which is the Brewers. Phillies and Brewers. Which gives us 3 straight NL East teams, which means we have a pretty good look at what these teams are doing, how they're looking against each other. At least record-wise, who's chasing who, who's catching up to who, all that stuff. Brewers have been a little bit of a conundrum in the National League Central. But let's head back to Milwaukee. We were just there yesterday to watch them beat the Mariners. And so welcome back to Miller Park. Phillies Brewers. Brewers with a better record than you might realize because they have been... The Brewers and the Blue Jays are, I think, the 2 most confusing teams that we have in the game. Let's take a look at that Philadelphia Phillies lineup. It's Shin-Soo Choo in right field. He'll be leading things off. Ramiro Pena is the shortstop. We have Justin Morneau at first base. Johnny Gomes in left. Jorge Posada is the catcher. Andres Torres in center field. Ronnie Belliard is at second base. Casey Kochman, the DH. And Brandon Inge at third. While I flip quickly the thumbnail. Change. Scroll. Matt Garza, the righty, is 7-1 with a 2.88 ERA. 8 games, 25 innings, 14-16. Pretty good ratio there of hits and walks to strikeouts. I think I have the correct thumbnail now. Yes. Shin-Soo Choo going to lead things off here for the Philadelphia Phillies. One of the best teams in the game. One of the most consistent best teams in the game. They've had a couple slumps here and there, but I don't think they've ever relinquished control of the NL East. It's gotten kind of close, but they've always managed to find a way to regain firm control of it. Florida does a good job, by the way, in that last game to make sure that they get that come from behind victory so they can either gain ground on the Phillies or keep pace with the Phillies, depending on the results of this game. That pitch is high and outside. Let me see if I can pull it up here without breaking everything. Because we had the Braves. They improved to 26-22. Florida now 29-19. And then you have Phillies could be 29-19 with a win. So this is kind of a big game for Philadelphia. They now need to match what Florida's doing. I didn't realize how close those records were. And I forgot, we saw the standings for the NL wild card, and those Phillies and Marlins were tied. So currently right now, Florida might be in first place in the National League East. That's wild. That is going to be hit out to left field, just foul. 2-2. Pitcher winds and fires. They're going to get the strikeout looking on Shin-Soo Choo just on that outside edge. That right-handed batter's box. This is the edge that I'm talking about. Been talking about it all night. It's been very kind to the pitchers. No break, but just kind of gets him. Shin-Soo Choo must have thought it was going to just stay a little further outside, but just broke in enough. Even though it said it had 0 inches of break. Just got enough of the zone for strike 3. There's a big first pitch swing. Drives it foul. Double. 0-1. Righty winds and fires. That is low for a ball. That is in for a strike. Here comes the 1-2. That is outside. You can hear the batter here. You got to maybe look for a pitch that's in. He stayed outside those last couple. Does he try to break him inside? No, goes high. That one sailed on him just a little bit, and it'll be 2-2? 3-2, excuse me. It is a full count here to the second batter in the Philadelphia Phillies lineup, whose name I obviously remember. Left that one over the plate, but the batter is late on it. Sliced well foul. Third baseman and left fielder take a look at it, but they're not going to be able to get it. It's too far into the stands. 3-2. Yet again, here's a payoff pitch. And that is hit to left field. Left fielder patiently waits and makes the out. Justin Morneau, 349 average.
Come on, don't give in now.
That is low for a ball. That is going to be smashed out towards center field. Does he have a beat on it? Yes, he does. Thought we were going to get that tumbling animation, but we don't. Milwaukee able to get through this big, powerful Philadelphia Phillies lineup. It was 1, 2, 3. Let's introduce you to Milwaukee's side of things for the home half. Brian Roberts is the second baseman. He'll lead things off. Niger Morgan's in center, followed by Jason Kubel, the right fielder. First baseman Luke Scott, left fielder Vernon Wells. DH is Jack Cust, third baseman David Freese. Catcher is Ryan Hannigan, and the shortstop, Angel Sanchez. And that is your Milwaukee Brewers lineup. Jazz took the Oklahoma City Thunder to overtime. Dang. Kyle Laus, 1-6 with a 5.04 ERA. You know what? We've had the Phillies a couple times recently. Let me see if I can pull my notes up. I mean, I have my notepad up. When did we have the Phillies last? Back on the 25th? So, 2 of the last 4 days we've had Phillies games, and both of their starting pitchers have been really bad. Like, really bad. The Phillies have 22 losses. He accounts for 6 of those. And that other Phillies pitcher, I believe, was 0-7 or something like that. So there's like 2 pitchers for the Phillies where you go like, okay, we can beat them. But I think the other stuff has just been so locked down that it hasn't. Maybe it's only just recently affecting them. Because even if you get just slight inconsistency, say you have 5 pitchers, right? And 3 of them are lights out and 2 of them are basically 1-13 in decisions. I just swung on and missed. Let me see if I can find that stat. The 25th, I believe, was exactly what I'm thinking of. So we'll go to my own channel. That pitch misses wildly. We'll go live. We will look. Oh, that's right. There's like a weird funk with the processing happening lately. But at least I can look at the day that I'm trying to see. The Phillies were, I believe, the last game of the day that day. Yeah. So, hold on. Can you see how I want, like, this way deep? Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Okay, so we have... Oh, these controls are so bad. Can you just go back? It swung on and missed. Oh my god. So the Angels just getting started. Maybe. I can't tell. This game, like the score bug is so infrequent. It is so hard to tell what's going on. We just need his stats for like 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's him. We rewind 10 seconds. Oh, for the love of God. This is so annoying. Yeah, I'd like to just randomly scroll. Okay, here we go. We finally got there. Oh, he was 3-2. Dang it. That's not even the guy that we're looking for. Oh, I only have 7% phone battery. I can't be doing that right now. That is low for a ball. We did have a pitcher. Maybe it wasn't for the Phillies. Maybe there's a different pitcher I was thinking of. I'm pretty sure it was for the Phillies, but whatever. When was the last time we had the Phillies before that? We only had the 3. Maybe the 23rd? is in for a ball. Honestly, I'm not really sure. 3-1. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And that pitch is outside, so he will work a walk. Nicely done there. Luke Scott will step up with 187 average. 2 home runs, 8 RBI, no stolen bases. That is in for a strike. Oh and 1. Righty winds and fires. That is hit out towards left field. Is the left fielder going to have a shot at it? Yes, he will. Runner on second will try to advance to third. The throw is offline, so he'll be in safe. Vernon Wells has an opportunity to drive in a go-ahead run here. Runners on the corners. Oh, that's going to get away. They are going to send the runner to second. They rarely send the runner home from third, especially if it goes up toward that third base dugout, which is what happened that time. The weird thing is just how long it takes the runner on third to dive back. Almost like they're baiting a bad throw from the catcher. So now a single might score 2 runs instead of just 1. And that is exactly what's going to happen. It's not probably just going to be a single. He will head for a double. It'll be a 2-run, 2-out double. Wow. And the Brewers don't have like the most prolific of offenses. And we saw that against the Mariners yesterday because the Mariners pitching staff is one of the worst in the game after the fantasy draft. Speaking of the Mariners, go Jack Cust, go Mariners. But Milwaukee jumps out to a nice 2-0 lead here early in this one, and a good take by Cust and that pitch on the outside that wasn't really close, even though that's been kind of the funky spot all day. Oh, Cust is going to want that pitch back. He is going to want that one back. 1-1 with 2 gone. He might want that one. This pitcher has left a couple pitches in very hittable locations in this at-bat alone. I think Cust is going to look back at this one and be a little frustrated with himself. And he is going to go down on strikes. Not sure if that was a called strike or if he tried to hold back the swing. Milwaukee scores 2 runs on just 1 hit. Wow, 2-0. Johnny Gomes is going to step up here to lead things off for the Philadelphia Phillies in inning number 2. Milwaukee does have one of the better pitching staffs in the game. As he sails that pitch high for a ball. And that's in for a strike. The righty winds and fires. That missed. Well, that might have caught the outside edge, but I'm wrong. 2-1. That one stays way upstairs for a ball. And that's low for a ball. So not exactly what you're looking for. You want the aggression here, trying to keep this 2-0 lead at least into the bottom half of the second, score an insurance run or two, and then try to really put this team away. It'll be Jorge Posada working with 5 home runs. A good-looking average. He is now your tying run after the relatively easy walk. And Posada's going to put a big swing into that one. The center fielder's going to have a look at it. He will make the grab. I thought that might have had enough, but it's just a little short. That center field is just deep enough in favor of Milwaukee. He got that right at the lip of the warning track. Andres Torres. He'll step in. Still the tying run. You don't love how loud that contact was to the left-handed hitter. Oof, and you don't love the look of that pitch. Yikes. Gets one by him to make it 0-1. Does Philadelphia want to be aggressive at all on the base paths? That's going to be rolled. That is going to be a huge foul ball for Philly. That was not shaping up to be a positive experience for them. 0-2. Way outside. Not even close. I think I've gotten fooled by that noise before, like where I'm not looking. Oh, as they called it a strike. It's like, no, that was a ball. It was just way outside. And he's going to get... That's a really nice pitch. That was like a real quick up-down. Just clip that inside corner, and that will be out number 2. Takes a ball low, makes it 1-0. So Philadelphia gets the walk, pretty easy walk, and then it's a deep fly to center field and a strikeout. Just like that, it feels like the momentum's kind of swung back in Milwaukee's favor. And that will finish things off. So 1 walk and then 3 consecutive outs. This lineup for the Phillies not really been much of a problem. No hits. It'll be up to Freese, Hannigan, and Sanchez to see if they can get any insurance runs before trying to win this thing in the top half of the third. That is in for a strike. The righty winds and fires. That one misses. For as generous as the right-handed side of the zone has been, the left-hand side has not been nearly as kind. 1-1. That is rolled up the third baseline into left field. It'll be a single. He'll think about making the big turn, but pulls back. Ryan Hannigan, 196 with a home run, 7 RBI. We'll take a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. That is, again, it just feels like it's a pitch that gets that edge, but the umpire does not give it to him. That one gets away. It's going to advance the runner up to second. And just like that, Milwaukee now working with a runner in scoring position, 2-1. And it's going to be drilled to the shortstop. He'll fire over to first, get the force out there. Does advance the runner all the way to third, which, thanks to that passed ball, is an extra... Well, I mean, it should have been a double play, so it's really advantageous for the Brewers. They get the pass ball, advance to second, and then that hit, that contact at least, advances him to third. I'm a little surprised that he ran to third, because usually when it's on that side, they kind of tend to stay towards second, but must have figured, hey, one out's going to happen. It'll either be me at third or it'll be at first. He went with the automatic, which I think is the right call. The runner does advance 180 feet on that at-bat. This, unfortunately, will not be enough. Right at the cut of the grass. That'll bring up Brian Roberts. A walk and a run. Man, that's a horrible missed opportunity. You can see Philadelphia was playing super in, too. They were going to guard the small ball. All he had to do was get it on the ground. Now the Phillies are back to their normal depth. And they have a great opportunity to get out of this down just a bloop and a blast. Here comes the pitch. It is low for a ball. That is going to be hit out towards left field. It's not going to be enough, so Brewers have an opportunity to put a little insurance on the board, but they cannot come away with an extra run. It'll be 2-0. Kochman, Inge, and Sin-Soo Choo. Last chance for the Phillies. Strike called on the high inside corner. That is going to be rolled over. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe they gave that to the pitcher. The game kind of feels like it must have known that, because I don't know that the second baseman moved at all. No, he moved a little bit. So here we are on the top of the third, one gone. That is in for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. Pitcher and catcher not on the same page at all. It's never good when you see just an arm come up and the ball go right between the legs. Gets the head at the knees to make it 1-2. Really starting to put pressure on this Philadelphia Phillies lineup. Down 2-0 here in the top of the third. And that is going to be strike three. That, again, high inside corner to the right-handed pitchers. It's been good. It's been really effective all day. 93 miles an hour on the four-seam fastball. That is out number 2, so it'll be down to the final out. Sin-Soo Choo is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Philadelphia Phillies do not have a hit. They only have a walk that they were issued in the bottom, or the top of the second inning, rather. They need a bloop and a blast here to keep this game alive. That is inside for a ball. That part of the plate has been far less generous than the opposite side. Go Brewers, they're in a good position here. As the righty winds and fires inside, that's ball 2. Here comes the 2-0. That is hit to the second baseman. He fires over to first in time, and that will do it. 2-0 your final here. Brewers over the Phillies. It was a good pitching performance. Milwaukee came up with the one hit that they needed. They were able to score 2 runs on the one hit, and Philadelphia had nothing in the tank today. But it checks out. Matt Garza is your player of the game. 3 innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts on the day. He gets the win to improve to 8-1. Kyle Lose falls to 1-7. So it's kind of a tale of like exact opposites. You have one pitcher who's performed really, really well for a team that's hovering around 500, going to need a lot of help to try and get into the playoffs, versus a pitcher that's losing so many decisions for the Phillies. And with that, it'll put the Phillies in second place in the National League East, and it should give first place to the Florida Marlins. Let's take a look at it. I didn't mean to go to options. Around the league standings. Yeah, Marlins are up a game, 29-19. The Phillies are 28-20. That makes the wild card a little bit different. They just kind of swap positions. Astros half a game back, and the Phillies are on an L4. We are heading to our last game of the day, which I actually realized I did not put in the description. Mets Angels. Actually, we got to catch up on some scores. Where did we leave off? The White Sox beat the Rockies 3-1. Royals over the Reds 1-0. Pirates beat the Twins 3-1. Athletics over the Astros 4-0. Then we watched the Brewers beat the Phillies 2-0. Mets Angels is next. We'll bop into this, and I will copy this and put it in the... It's a little late now, but I guess for you fine VOD folks. Edit. And I want to go paste, and then I will hold it here while I wait to grab the thumbnail real quick. It's a bit of a messy Wednesday stream. I don't typically stream on Wednesdays, and I guess it's showing today. Welcome into our 4th and final game of the day, and we are in Los Angeles. New York taking on Los Angeles, the other New York and the other Los Angeles team. If this were the other New York and the other Los Angeles, it'd be a lot probably more exciting. Mets and Angels. The Mets are 20-26. The Angels are 25-22. The center fielder Joe Mather starting off for the Mets, leading off that lineup. Dustin Pedroia at second, Pablo Sandoval at third, Aubrey Huff at first, Hunter Penson right, Lyle Overbay at the designated hitter position, Connor Jackson in left, Ramon Castro at the catching position, Ramon Santiago at the shortstop. And I will do that and grab this thumbnail real quick. Bam, bam, save, how. Oh, good. Good job. YouTube, you're really having a good day today, huh? Gavin Floyd is our pitcher today. 3-3 with a 4.81 ERA, 9 games with 24.1 innings pitched, 25-10-13. Why are you so far back, live stream? Yeah, 25-10-13. Nailed it. Absolutely crushed it. Joe Mather leading things off. That is in for a strike at the knees. Must have released a title update for this game or something, because we are loose on the strike zone today. 0-1 as we are underway here in Los Angeles. The Mets' record is currently, they're 6 games under 500. They started the season 0-6. That's your difference. They've played 500 baseball since that bad losing streak to start the season. Really took them out of contention pretty immediately. Swung on and missed. They'd still be kind of out of it, even if they split those first 6 games like 3-3. They'd still need some help because of the way the schedule is figured out in the 82-game season. We got a lot of the divisional stuff out of the way early. So hopefully there's some interesting wild card matchups, wild card chase matchups, but we'll see. We have a lot of interleague happening. As that is rolled over. Because the NL has 2 extra teams, there will always be 2 NL teams playing each other. And that was the Phillies and the Brewers today. One day I'll stop coughing. It's not today, but one day. This puts a whole wrench into my plan for tomorrow. There might be a stream tomorrow. I wasn't planning on streaming tomorrow. I was going to go do an open mic, but we'll see. Alrighty, fires that outside. It's unfortunate because my cough didn't start till yesterday. And that's when I was like, I'm feeling well enough to come back and stream. That is low for a ball.
Hey,
2-0. 2 gone. No score here in the top of the first. That is upstairs. Sandoval maybe gets a little bit of a beneficial call there. I thought that was right at the letters, but as it would have made the count 2-1 rather than 3-0, and maybe he hasn't earned that call just yet. Here comes the 3-0. Catcher set up well outside, but that gets the edge of the zone for a strike. 3-1 now. How aggressive is the batter going to get? That's always the question on a 3-0. Or a 3-1, excuse me.
we got full count. Drop the hammer on it.
Pablo Sandoval takes a strike on the outside. Kind of the same location. I'm really liking that outside edge. That is foul up the first base line. Fouls that one away. We'll see yet another payoff pitch. That is foul at the third base line. Let's do it again. 4th payoff pitch now. Hey, let's do it one more time, huh? Ooh, got him to swing on the pitch that was going to walk him. Dropped it out of the zone, swung over the top of it. It's out number 3. We'll introduce you to the Los Angeles Angels lineup here in just a moment. So we head to the bottom of the first. Designated hitter Cameron Maben will lead things off, followed by Casey McGee at third. Adrian Gonzalez at first. John Buck is the catcher. Ben Zobrist in right. Ryan Roberts at second. Ryan Ledwick in left. Felipe Lopez is the shortstop. And Peter Borges. Gorgeous Borges. Oh. Out in center field. Jaime Garcia, 1-5 of the 4.67 ERA. 9 games, 27 innings, 32-4-23. That is an incredible ratio. 23 strikeouts to just 4 walks. He's given up a decent chunk of hits, but I think you'd take that lack of walks. Especially compared to that number of strikeouts. Cameron Maben. He'll lead things off here for the Angels. The lefty winds and fires. Maben with the first pitch swing fouls it back. That noise got me. They've been swinging again, and that makes it 0-2. The lefty is ready. He fires that outside for a ball. 1-2. Maben with good discipline there to let that pitch go outside. That 1-2 stays upstairs to make it 2-2. A little swing happy on those first couple pitches, but has taken the last couple that have been clearly pitches for balls. Lefty winds and fires, gets him to swing and miss, and that will set him down for out number 1. Maben maybe just lost a little bit of patience. We've been in that position plenty of times where you get swing happy early, you fall behind 0-2, you have a couple good takes, maybe there's a foul ball in there somewhere, even up the count and get back into it, and then just kind of run out of patience a little bit. Foul balls actually really helped me, as that is hit foul at the first base line. So it feels like you get that swing out of the system where it's like it's 0-2, you build it back to 2-2, you get that foul ball, and you go, okay, we got the swing out of our system. We can reestablish some level of patience. But we've been in plenty of situations where you get a 2-2, 3-2, swing at a bad pitch. I'm so done coughing. I don't normally cough. It's driving me insane. I've been coughing all day. Every, minute and a half, it feels like I'm turning over. Here comes the 2-1. That is in for a strike. Swung on and missed, and a pitch on the outside. Back-to-back strikeouts here for the Los Angeles Angels in the bottom of the first. Four-seam at 90 with perfect timing. Just over it. Couldn't get a piece of it to stay alive. That is unfortunate. Adrian Gonzalez somehow leads the AL in home runs with 8. Oh, you know what? It's RBI that I'm thinking of. RBI is up in the around 20 in one of the leagues. Ooh. The crowd really wanted that one to be home run number 9. It is just a foul ball. 0-1. These Angels hitters very aggressive with their swings here. One and one, so some good patience there, of course, as soon as I say, hey, they've been real aggressive. Okay, right back to it. One and two with 2 outs. That is a strike 3 called. This Mets pitcher came to play as all players do. I don't know why I said that, because I can't stand when regular commentators say it. He sets him down in order via the strikeout. Nothing as we head to the top of the second. Current Giant, future Giant, and then overpay coming up. Pitch stays well outside for ball 1. As the pitcher winds and fires, he'll take a strike in a would look like a pretty hittable location, but I guess worst case scenario for him, it just evens up the count. Big swing on a pitch toward the inside. Over the top of it for strike 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is hit well toward the right field side. The right fielder actually makes the catch there. There was a weird hitch in the step there. Wasn't sure that it was going to be able to adjust him to get to the ball correctly. But the game is kind to the Los Angeles Angels today. It maybe wasn't super kind to the... Was it Cleveland that was playing Florida? Wasn't very kind there. But the wind wasn't kind in that one. Hunter Pence steps up for the Mets here. He will take a strike. I think maybe if you're looking for that pitch, you're able to do something with it, but it's 0-1. He will put a swing on that. It'll be a nice diving stop. Throws in the dirt. Good adjustment by the first baseman. We're falling apart over here. Lyle Overbay, 283 average. Big swing and a miss there for Overbay. It was a nice dive by the third baseman. We don't see that very frequently in this game. Here comes the 0-1. Inside for a ball. One and two. It's a nice pitch on the outside edge. Obviously, it's easier for us to see from here than it is for them. I think sometimes with this game, it can be really frustrating with the pitches that they do and don't swing at. That looked like a pitch maybe he should have taken a hack at, and then thankfully he didn't swing at the next pitch, which probably would have been a strikeout or a foul ball that was well out of the zone. Okay, there we go. He right on cue. Thanks, man. Thanks. Really proud of you. We'll head to the bottom half of the second. Nobody's had a hit. We'll see if this Mets pitcher can continue the strikeout streak against Buck, Zobrist, and Roberts. Three up, three down in strikeout fashion in the bottom of the first. We are now in the bottom of the second. The lefty is ready. He winds and fires. And he will immediately give up his strikeout streak, but it'll still be one pitch, one swing, one out. Which I'm sure is a perfectly fine result for him. Hunter Pence makes the out. That is a low for a ball. And that'll be rolled over. The third baseman with a clean little scoop there. Can't quite get up to first, up the line in time, and it's out number 2. So a couple quick outs here. This is going to be one of those games where the offenses just cannot do anything. You kind of saw it with the Mets a little bit. Some of the pitches they were choosing to swing at and not swing at were a little like, what? Why? The Angels have been aggressive all day long. Just they come up ready to swing. Oh my God. What do you think you're going to do with that? He's still out. Oh, don't do this to me, game. Don't give me some garbage extra innings game where no one can do anything. Those are not fun to watch. It's a good job by the Mets pitcher. We're going to try and look at this positively. He is throwing pitches at least in the zone that the Mets or the Angels are not able to get a hold of. He's able to get them to roll over it. The righty winds and fires. There's a swing, but it's not going to be enough. Center fielder over there to play it at the warning track and makes the grab. It's and out. That was not a good throw in. 7 straight retired by Gavin Floyd, and if things continue on the other side, we'll see that same stat for the Mets pitcher as well. No hits in this game yet. 2 full innings down, no hits. Someone's going to accidentally sneeze one over the line or over the wall, and that's going to be how this game ends. He thought about it. No appeal down to first. Seen a couple of appeals, and they have both been called strikes, one of them being a called strike 3. Count is 1-0. Here comes the pitch. That one stays upstairs for a ball. And we haven't even had any base runners. It's not like you'd go, well, this pitcher's retired 7 straight, but the other pitcher's walked 3 guys. Like, no, it's been awful. That is low for a ball. It's a good patient at bat here. Something the Angels could probably learn from is not swinging at literally everything. That'd be good for them. Here comes the 3-0. And that'll be a walk. First base run of the game, and it's for the Mets. He's a little concerned about where that strike zone is. Ooh, kicks a little bit. Floyd not happy with that call. Catcher comes out to console him. Looks back to make sure he's not getting thrown out. Ejections are in this game. We've seen a few of them. I think we're up to 5 on the season. And that'll be up the middle. That's your first hit of the game. The Mets will work station to station. Maybe figured a little something out here with this pitcher at the bottom of the order. Joe Mather steps up, looking to push that go-ahead run across in scoring position. And a good take there, as that is low. That hits the knees for a strike. Makes the count 1-1 with 1 out. 2 on here for the Mets. Oh, that's a big swing and a miss. It's a pitch that was deceptively good. As it was coming out of the hand, I saw it go toward the plate. I went, oh, this is juicy. And then it just fell off the table. It's a nice pitch by the Angels pitcher, and I think understandable aggression from the Mets batter. Fouls that one away as he tries to change the eye level a little bit. Here comes the 1-2, low to even things up at 2-2. Swung on and missed. Oh no. I jinxed them. Oh, they figured something out against this pitcher. It's a 4-seam low. It's out of the zone. It's likely going to be a ball to fill up the count. Instead, he swings over the top of it, and it is a strikeout. Dustin Pedroia is 0 for 1. Does have a .310 average on the season. And try and play the hero here. Doesn't need much, just has to get that into the outfield. See if he can send that runner around third. That's well outside. Angels pitcher does need to be careful here. He does not want to miss this catcher and advance these runners 90 feet each. Pedroia takes a strike on that inside part of the plate. It's been weird all day. Kind of confusing, or like kind of surprising. Kind of makes sense that that pitch was called that way. 1-1. That's inside. Too far inside for a ball. Ooh. That was a dangerous pitch. It was almost a disgusting strike. What kind of a mess was that? 3-1, 2 gone. They called that a walk? They called that a ball? What? What? That looked like it was right at the letters. I thought that was going to be 3-2, no problem. Like, little question. Wow. Pablo Sandoval's going to drive it up the middle past the diving second baseman. It'll score 1. It will maybe score 2. The throw is in, but it's offline. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. A huge hit right back up the middle by, I think that, what, Kung Fu Panda? Pablo Sandoval. Wow. And just like that, the Mets have offense to the Angels. Just can't quite get out of that. That was a brutal walk to a first pitch, 2-run single. Now it's 1-0 to the lefty. That is 2-0 to the lefty, and neither of those pitches all that close. That's a strike on the outside. Nice location there. Don't give him anything too easy to hit. Try to just get a strike on the outside of the zone. Well, that should do it. Okay, I was curious. It did seem like he was a little confused on where he wanted to go. The Mets pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. Ludwig, Lopez, and Borges. Going to be the last opportunity here for the Angels in the bottom half of the third. We get our favorite camera angle where they don't have like the step animations built in, so they just run up against an invisible wall. The lefty winds and fires. Someone sails high. 1-0. Surprising level of patience for the Angels, as in they took 1 pitch. Like they've swung at every first pitch so far in this game. That is outside. 2-0. Okay, Mets, we can't do this. We really don't need to be doing this. Please. Pretty please. I'm asking kindly. Throw a competitive pitch here. I beg of you. Okay. I'll take a strike. It's fine. It didn't really, I guess, whatever. Because if they issue a walk, then all of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate. And neither of these teams have been able to put together consistent offense. And of course, as soon as I said that the last time around, we heard what? It was the 7 straight, basically. They got to 2 outs, and then finally, like, everything started to come together for the Mets. The lefty is going to leave this one. Pretty hittable location. That's going to just be a fly out to right. He was trying to jam him. I think it was pretty successful, and it was just as I was suspected. We saw this in the previous inning where the Mets had not had any success, no hits, and the pitcher had retired 7 straight. We get that same stat because nobody's been able to do anything until the Mets finally broke through in the top of the third. The lefty winds and fires low. It misses and moves the feet of the batter just a little bit. 1-0. And a swing and a miss. Evens things up at 1-1. It's a little more the Angels style of at-bats we've seen today. Just a really aggressive group of guys. Fortunately, both batters took the first pitch in this inning, but that has not been the case throughout. Goes for a bunt attempt and completely misses it. It's 1-2. That pitch was likely going to be inside for a ball, but obviously doesn't bring the bat back because it was late to even do the bunting situation in the first place. He'll go back inside. Misses the zone. Evens things up at 2-2. And he'll hit that over to the first baseman. Nice play at first. We see that get past the first baseman, the hot corners, pretty frequently in this game, so it's a nice play for the out, and that will bring up Borges for the last chance for the Angels. All three hitters take the first pitch in this inning. They all get ahead with a 1-0 count. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to do anything with it. That is outs on the outside for a strike. Batter disagrees with it, but it evens things up at 1-1. Lefty is going to fire that, but it's going to be grounded to second. He'll come up with the ball and throw it over to first in time for out number 3. That will do it. Garcia technically throws a perfect game. And that's your ball game. 2-0 Mets over the Angels. I thought we were going to be in for extra innings misery between a couple of offenses that couldn't do anything, which was particularly frustrating with the Los Angeles Angels with how aggressive they were swinging. They finally took a couple of pitches here or there, but it didn't really matter. They get shut out 2-0. And that will do it. That's our fourth and final game. Garcia is your player of the game. 3 innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts. He has his ERA at 4.20. He improves to 2-5. Gavin Floyd falls to 3-4. No home runs for either side. And that's it. That's your coverage for today, May 28th, 2011, aka January 7th, 2026. Obviously, I cannot stop coughing. So that means I don't probably want to go cough into a microphone and an open mic for people. So here's what we're going to do. I will see how I'm feeling in the morning. Hopefully this cough can subside a little bit, or enough for me to be able to go do that. If I'm feeling okay and I can control the cough, I will head to the open mic. There will not be a stream tomorrow. If I can't control it, because at least I can mute myself repeatedly, which I'm sure isn't the most fun thing in the world, but whatever, I will do a stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. So if there's no stream, you know that I'm out and about. If there is a stream, might not be a video on Tuesday. Easy peasy. Let's catch up on the rest of the scores here as we left off right there. Okay. Yankees over the Dodgers. Oh, the Yankees are playing the Dodgers. 3-1 Yankees winners there. The Padres over the Rays 2-1. The Rangers over the Giants 3-0. And the Mariners 5-3 winners over the Diamondbacks. That'll do it. That's your coverage for May 28th. We have what? We have a full month. 37 days left of the season. 37 days. We're breezing through it. If you're new here, welcome on in. If you want to help the channel for free and in a free, easy way, give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. If you want more, subscribe. Ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed. And that'll do it for this evening. I typically don't stream on Wednesdays, but if I keep doing the open mics, I might actually stream more on Wednesdays because the open mic that I'm going to is on a Thursday. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will catch you for sure on Friday. I'll be streaming early in the morning the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined demo, and I'll be streaming in the evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time with more baseball. Until then, good sports, and have a great rest of your night. Goodbye, everybody.